was started when the Ramsar Convention was coming to commemorate that. We are celebrating World Wetland Day on February 2nd.
Other than that, is there any significance in today's date? Have you seen today's calendar?
Yes, it was 02/02/2020. So it was 02/02/01. Last 4 letters of the book.
Read it the other way also, it's the same.
It's the same. Palindrome.
So is there any other significant event in this week as far as forestry is concerned?
This week.
Week in the sense today is
World Wetland Day.
number 2, second day of the week or month. And I'm asking you a question, like in the entire week, if I ask you, is there any other thing significant from forestry point of view in this week? Not in terms of, I will say, wetland day or something like that. Commemorative days, I'm not asking.
Okay.
In the issues of forestry, contemporary issues of forestry in the country, is there anything significant which you have read in newspapers or you have seen somewhere or something?
I'm not able to.
Okay, I will give you a hint.
Okay.
Which is the biggest congregation of human beings in the world?
The Melas, Kumbh Mela.
Kumbh Mela?
Yes.
That's the largest congregation. Any idea which is the second largest congregation in the world?
No idea.
It's going to happen this week.
Okay.
It's going to happen this week. Any idea which state it's going to happen?
Is it something related to the...
It's a neighboring state. I will give you one more hint. It's a neighboring state to Tamil Nadu. Anyway, you Google it.
Yes, sir. Is it related to the bird migration?
No. I told you, nothing commemorative or something.
No, the bird migration event.
No. I told you congregation of human beings. First, initial itself, I gave you a hint.
Yes.
I think you will follow it up. Yeah. So, Coimbatore, what is the forest? What is the present day issue of forestry in your district?
Sir, there are a few issues which is concerning the Western Ghats in Coimbatore.
If you are the officer managing that district, what will be your first concern?
The first concern would be the human-wildlife conflicts, which are still a major issue in Coimbatore and the surrounding districts of Nilgiris and Ooty, whereby there is a lot of intrusion, there is a lot of conflict between where the elephant corridor, the elephants which are restricted in the elephant corridors, and due to human habitation influence as well as the pressure of anthropogenic pressure, there is a lot of conflict which is going on, and which needs certain measures for it, like reducing the conflict as well as making sure that the wildlife is restricted within the forest area, so that we have to improve the forest area, the ponds.
What is a corridor? You told the word corridor. What's a corridor?
Elephant corridor.
What is the meaning, or what is the...
Elephant corridor is a place through which the elephants cross over within multiple ranges of forest, whereby
Very simplistic sort of explanation. You are giving very long sentences of explanation. Can you tell within one sentence not only elephants, what's a corridor in general?
Corridor is a pathway where anybody can use it to cross, which connects two places.
Connects to?
Connects the habitats.
What is a habitat?
Habitat is a place where it is a surrounding ecosystem of a particular species or animal.
What is ecosystem?
Ecosystem is the biotic and abiotic factors which form in a particular place.
So in your adjacent district, they call it as Nilgiris, no?
Yes.
Why is it known as Nilgiris?
So it is the name is from the Kurunji flower which blooms in blue color once in 5
What's the
years.
botanical name of Kurunji flower?
Sorry, sir, I don't.
What were your optionals for the exam?
It was forestry and geology.
But you are basically you are a graduate in biotechnology.
Yes, sir.
But for this exam you are studying.
Yes, sir.
Good. Okay. So you are from Coimbatore.
Yes.
Okay. Why this name Coimbatore? How that has come into being?
So Coimbatore is the anglicized version of Coimbatore, where Coen was the tribal chieftain in the past.
Okay.
So it was anglicized as Coimbatore. So and we in the common way we call it as Kovai.
Kovai. So what is this then Komunadu?
Kongu Nadu is it is from 1st century AD to 4th century AD. The place was ruled by Cheras, and the place was called Kongu Nadu. And after that, it was a separate. The administration was separate for the place. So that time it was designated as Kongu Nadu, and it included the surrounding districts also, like Erode, Nilgiris, Coimbatore, and these areas were together called as Kongu Nadu.
And with the capital, where was the capital?
Sorry, sir, I don't know.
Dharapuram, Skandapuram, earlier it was known as. I'm not sure.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
Okay. Well, you're given your hobbies
Yes, sir.
as football, then blogging. What is this blogging?
Blogging is it is a new fitness trend which has been for the past 2 years it has been developing. It is like we have jogging plus picking up litter. So it is actually the blogging is a Swedish term, polka, which means picking up. So it is picking up trash and jogging together. Whereby you keep yourself also healthy and do something for the.
That's what our Prime Minister has done.
Yes, sir. When he had come to Mahabalinpuram, he had done in the beach. Yes.
And you are a goalkeeper too.
Yes, sir.
Can you name a few legendary goalkeepers, international?
The goalkeepers which I am favorite of are the Manuel Neuer of Germany.
That's the reason.
I can test
And he plays for which club these days?
Manuel Neuer.
Yeah. Which club he plays for?
I'm not very sure of this. He played for Germany team, but
The club,
I'm not very sure.
Any other goalkeepers?
I can Casillas of Spain.
Okay. Yes, sir. Okay.
Casillas and De Gea. These three are big.
So you are of these not very old goalkeepers, but the recent.
The recent ones.
Okay. So can you define forest?
Forest is a locality where it is a composure of trees, wildlife, and other associated living and non-living things, which create a separate
Okay.
niche.
But then what about grasslands? They don't have trees.
Yes, sir.
Then are they not forests?
Yes, sir. They are also forests.
Then how do you categorize them? The definition which you have given.
Yes, sir. I included like trees and other microorganisms. It includes shrubs, grasslands, and it's a composite of many living and non-living things together.
Okay. Okay. And you know about the Forest Survey of India.
Yes, sir.
What is the total for tree and forest cover in the country as per the latest assessment?
It is 24.68%.
What is the difference between forest and tree cover?
Forest cover is one which there is greater than 1 hectare of land, and the canopy density is more than 10%. And tree cover is less than 1 hectare of land, and the canopy density is less than 10%.
Okay. Do you know about this Forest Rights Act?
Yes, sir.
Which are the rights guaranteed under that given under this act?
The different rights are given are the habitation rights, the community forestry rights, and the rights for the minor forest produce, the usage of those produce, and as well as the title rights for people, tribal people living either other forest dwellers who are living for 3 generations more, and as well as the tribal people.
Okay, so what are the different types of community rights given under that? There are various categories. Any idea?
No, sir.
When was this enacted?
It was in 2006.
2006.
Scheduled rights and other forest dwellers rights act.
Okay, and what is the status of its implementation in Tamil Nadu?
It has actually till 2017 there wasn't any much implementation in Tamil Nadu. For now it has been assessed.
Why it was not there till 17?
It was actually the claim as well as the awareness among people was less, I believe, and the detailed issue I'm not very
No,
sure.
there was a court case. There was a high court
Yes,
case.
sir.
That's
Till
why
2017 the court case.
Court case was.
That's why I told till 17.
This what is the difference between an invasive species and an exotic species?
So both are not the commonality between both is both are not from the same area. It's not indigenous.
No.
And invasive species is one which is growth is very explosive within the area since it doesn't have a natural predator.
But it
for
could be native also. Native species also can become invasive, isn't it? Okay.
Any example of a native species becoming invasive?
So I'm not very sure of that. The ones which I have come across are the ones which are not native and like Lantana camera, Prosolis julifera. These were the ones that are familiar. And exotic species is one which we have brought from outside for plantation or avenue plantation on different purposes, which were bred in nurseries and used for creation of forests.
What is the difference between adaptation and mitigation in climate change?
Mitigation are the measures which we take up to reduce the impact of climate change, and adaptation is the one which the measures which we take for us to actually adapt to the new normal, like what affects the climate change creators for us to adapt to the new normal. It is called adaptation.
Can you just say forestry? Many times we say, forests, they have a big role to play in mitigating climate change.
Yes.
So under which category they belong? So is it an adaptation option or a mitigation option, forestry?
I think so. Forestry, the use of forest as carbon sinks and everything. I think so. It is majorly towards the mitigation parts to reduce the effect of.
But then what about the most vulnerable communities like tribes and all?
Yes.
Won't forests help to adapt in terms of livelihoods?
When they are already dependent on the forest for their livelihood, the survival of the forest is very much important for them also to survive. For them to survive the climate change and other things. Further, to reduce the impact of climate change, we have to further increase the forest, like the expanse of forest.
So do you mean to say that is it a mix of these two?
Yes, sir. Both.
What is resilience?
Resilience is the character of a community or a species or anything to come back after it is being pushed down. Like if we face a natural disaster or anything, after the impact of the natural disaster, how it regains its natural or usual thing is called resilience.
What is the difference between a sanctuary and a national park?
Sanctuary, both are protected areas, and national park is. Sorry, sir, I'm not able to exactly differentiate the both.
But can you name some national park in Tamil Nadu?
Actually, the tiger reserves are coming to my mind, but national parks are nobody.
Any wildlife sanctuary?
Annamalai Wildlife Sanctuary, which has become a tiger reserve. It was then Gidi National Park in Chennai. It's the Gidi National Park.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
You are an industrial biotechnologist. How do you see this biotechnology, industrial biotechnology, and you are going for a forestry? So forestry is purely a service,
Yes.
or you are not going to explore, or you are not going to keep the production basis name, you are not going to see them, but you have come across industrial production. So how will you use your academic things in the service?
Sir, biotechnology and industrial biotechnology as such has much more application in forestry, and it has been already applied, and there have been successful examples of bamboo micropropagation as well as the germplasm conservation and the genetic marker or molecular marker analysis of plants. Further, in case of industrial production, there are a lot of people who are almost 20% of the population which is directly dependent on their livelihood from the forest produce. To value add to their produce as well as the non-timber forest produce to value add and increase as well as create a market for such value added products. I think so my academic background would be supportive.
You told 20%. Where did you get this figure from?
It was an approximate figure, sir. The exact figure.
I'm asking the source of your information. Because you are making an observation with a particular figure.
Yes, sir.
So I was interested to know whether you have studied somewhere or some literature or something.
I came across in newspaper articles, but I'm not able to recollect the exact source.
Do you know Kyoto Protocol?
Yes, sir.
What is the significance of Kyoto Protocol?
Kyoto Protocol is for reducing the global. It was started in 2000, in the year 2000, for reducing the greenhouse gases as well as global warming reduction of the world. It is being succeeded by the Paris Protocol, which was recently in 2015 and is going to come in 2020.
Are there any significant difference between both Kyoto Protocol and Paris Agreement?
The major difference, which is that the Kyoto Protocol was mandated in the international way, but the Paris Protocol is intended nationally determined contributions, whereby the own country determines what its targets are going to be and how it's going to achieve. This is the basic difference between the two.
Do you know CITES?
Yes, CITES.
What is it?
It is a convention which deals with the exchange or export and import of wild animals and plants.
So your option is geology.
Yes.
So what is the importance of geology in forest administration?
The expanse of, if we consider within India, the expanse of forest is very wide and diverse, and the geological base of all these forests is very different. There are undulating terrains as well as there are plain areas or plateau areas and different rock compositions are there. To understand the geology of the area is very important for us to conserve as well as protect the forest.
Do you know biodiversity? So what do you mean biodiversity?
Biodiversity is a species richness within an area, whereby there are different varieties of species within a particular area. That is the biodiversity of the area.
That is the manual in every division, every forest division.
Yes.
They follow some certain principles or certain procedures. Do you know that what it is? Manual is called certain names.
I'm not exactly sure of the manual, but I came across People's Biodiversity Registry, which is through the...
Not in terms of biodiversity, what he is asking
In terms
regarding
of
administration. Any forest
In
division is
terms of
administered based
management
on
of
some
any
documentation.
Okay, the working, I came across working plan, which
Yeah.
has...
Okay. So what is working plan?
Working plan is a long-term plan, as well as which also includes the annual plan, whereby the forest area is being assessed, analyzed, as well as the steps which has to be taken are being delineated within the plan.
How long is the plan?
The annual plan is single year, and the working plan would be 10 or 15 years.
Who is the approving authority for your working plan? Do you have any idea?
No, sir, I am not exactly sure. Chief Consultant of Forest.
And sir is sitting, he is approving authority.
Anyway, no problem. No.
Okay, do you know red data book?
Yes, sir, red data.
So red data book, what is the significance of your red data book?
The red data book has the status, the present conservation status of different species, wildlife species in the world, whereby it is divided into 9 different categories, and the endangered, critically endangered as well as vulnerable are given much more importance for being for us to protect them.
Who is deciding India's red data book? Do we have a red data book
Yes,
for
sir.
India?
I'm not very sure, sir.
Do we have India? I'm just asking.
No, I know, I don't know, sir.
Okay, just know that.
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Okay. Should we call them again or should we give a feedback statement?
Feedback statement.
Yes. Okay.
Two.
Yeah, this thing is over. Now we are
the
giving
interview is over.
Now he will give feedback.
Yeah.
Whatever
Now you
from our
from our side,
we will try to give you
explain
some
you what
input.
you want.
Muthu, actually, you're doing good, really good. You know, you're sure most of the time, 90% of the time, composed and good. That is quite expected of an interview, for a good interview. You have good communication skills also, that's fine with that. But two things. One, to further improve the communication skills. You know, like normally in a board there will be 5 or 6 people, or 4 or 5. Minimum at least 5.
Yes, sir.
So now, for instance, when he was asking a question and you were answering, you were actually contacting, almost staring at him. So to improve your communication, if you can actually make eye contact with
Yes, sir.
all of us, probably once, see 90% of the time or 60-70% of the time you'll be talking to him only.
Yes.
But in between, take a round, take a plug. Okay, Okay, so that everybody feels that we are all included in that. That's one way. And a couple of times, like when you are not very sure about a couple of questions, then you had an apologetic look on your face. Don't do that.
Okay.
Because nobody is expected to know everything
Yes.
on the planet. You say frankly that I do not know. And no need of bluffing also. If at all you have to say something, say that can I make a guess?
Okay.
Because I have some vague idea, but based on that, can I make a vague idea that will be more meaningful? Like the answer to the chief conservator of forest, that may not be the right thing to do.
Yes.
Now I think, but you have a fairly good knowledge about most of these things, but try to
Yes.
fine tune it.
Okay.
And your attempt, you're trying to capture it in its essence. That's very good. That's very good. Okay, but when is your interview now coming?
February 10th.
10th. You still have about a week's time.
Yes.
Go through like administration reports of the ministries, websites, and understand some fundamental difference, like this national park and sanctuary. Because some of the board members are, very good at asking. They're comfortable in asking for this distinction. What is the difference with this, that, this, that?
Yes.
So it comes as a, so brush it up. Otherwise, it's fine.
Only one observation. Of course, as he told, you are very good. When you are answering, I was able to notice some sort of one particular sound is coming.
Okay.
Some hissing sound is coming in your. It's a natural thing,
Okay.
but it does not appear well when we are sitting on this side of the table. So you can see the video also. So one hissing sound is coming, but you can reduce, be cautious, and it improves your outlook in front of the members. One. Number two, I can tell you, you can see the district gazetteers of your Nilgiris and Coimbatore, because it gives you a good idea about your district. Because first, initially, they will ask you many things about your district. Nilgiris, especially, it's very favorite place for many people. That flower is known as Strobilanthes guthianus, what you're telling, and it is not known by that. It's not the correct answer. It's because of one particular mineral is there in that hill.
Even the state flower of Tamil Nadu, all those things.
No, there is one mineral called charnakite. Charnakite is there. You are a geologist, you have been knowing it. So it's
option is geology, they say Sirvani water,
it's tasty because of charnakite, and the entire thing looks blue.
Blue color,
And Nilgiris is known as Nilgiris not because of Strobilanthes. Strobilanthes comes once in a blue moon.
Okay.
Because of charnakite, and being a geologist, I was expecting a correct answer from you.
Okay.
One thing. Then, go through the district gazetteers, and especially human-animal conflicts and corridors. You are very, sketchy when you are talking about corridors and all. You don't know, because being in Coimbatore, if I ask you where is the corridor in Coimbatore, you should be able to tell that main corridor you are having in Metropolitan. Those things you please shorten it up. And I wanted to ask you about your NCC thing and all. Which certificate you have?
C certificate.
So brush up your things, because if there is an army officer or somebody in the board, first thing which will strike him will be your NCC certificate. So brush up those things. That's all from my side. Your observations?
So when you say that I have, that is something, initially I just tried to observe, but now I was just listening, sir, I forgot it. Just a minute.
No, we can call him back also, no issues.
Yeah,
sometime.
because I did not.
Once you recollect, we'll call him back. No issue. He'll be here only for some time.
Because I was just watching, sir, and it reminds me in the past things, so I was just concentrating.
He was my junior in college, so we have a lot of old memories. Okay, you can relax.
And actually, for seeing everybody, I tried doing it, sir. Like previous
No, but
interview,
with both of us you are doing. Like when he was asking, you are looking at me. No, but when I was asking, you are looking at me. But you are not looking at him.
Yes.
I was watching you. When he was asking, you are 99% you were with him.
Yes.
We were totally
That
eliminated.
will substantially improve. That is one factor,
Yes, sir.
that can, make a huge difference actually.
Okay.
That means so confident that impression will come.
No, that comes only by confidence. No, like it sounds of confidence. Whether you have or not is a different question. But it exudes a confidence level.
Yes.
And whenever your option is geology,
Yes, sir.
and your option is forestry. So forestry, they will expect that you are from other background, but you have taken forestry. Just like to clear exam, you should not. You have to say, I am interested in that. So I just read and have no. So that is why this manual, like what is a working plan. So you need to everything whatever you know, you read and you are remembering things. Instead of that, you make it in the simplest way. That's what starts.
I was telling
One
you.
is corridor.
You are
Corridor.
long long sentences.
It's a
Long
full-length
sentences.
sentence.
You know the issues, but try to crystallize your ideas in simple English.
In your word.
Ah.
What Sam means to say in your own sentence,
Yeah.
because we need not to, what is everybody knows here, this side, everybody knows definition, they remodified that also. These people only designed all forest, new words, forestry and all, they have only decided. So now it's here, how you observe it, how you can remodify it in future. So you need to produce it by your own words. That's
And
all.
be brief, like your sentences are very long.
Don't make more. You are giving more information.
You are basically
You're giving more information.
recollect and in between you give a pause also so that you get the mood of the
Yes, whether they are agreeing.
whether they are interested to listen more on this topic from you or whether they are going the other way around. You should be conscious of that also. And pause in between. All the best.
I asked one thing and you have given so much of information. We wanted to know what is minimum information. Because so many other things need to be asked. You need to be asked in multiple dimensions. If you are taking so much of time, they will try to pose more concentrated, deep into that. So you should not make that. It's nice. You got information. You got information. You keep going. Only thing, minimize and put it in your own word. That you will succeed. 100%. You are good. Be confident and do well.
Thank you.
You make it.
Congrats. Thank you.